Hey guys, welcome to today's video and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Kira and this is my oldest son Kai here. Jackson is actually asleep in the living room, finally. So I wanted to go ahead and film this video. Kai actually woke up at like 9 o'clock today, so he's probably not going to take a nap. So I just wanted to go ahead and get this video filmed because I needed to do a couple of videos. And this is going to be a makeup and mystery, and we're going to be talking about Amelia Earhart. And we are going to be discussing the disappearance of Amelia Earhart because I recently watched a story on it on the Discovery network with my parents. It was on last night. I only watched like part of it because the kids were giving me a tough time last night, so I literally only watched part of it. But it was really intriguing and I thought why not bring it up for makeup and mystery. So anyways, I thought why not bring it up because there's a bunch of different mysteries on what could have happened. There's actually 4 theories that, and 3 of them actually I really think are quite possible, but this special that I'm talking about actually dove really well into one of them, and that's what inspired me to do this episode. So anyways, Amelia Earhart obviously was a celebrity back in the day because she was this woman that was doing things that generally males should do, and she was beating them at it. So she was typically a celebrity and really well photographed, and you can even go back and see that she was really well known and well photographed as a celebrity. So basically, she was going to do a trip around the world on her plane, and it was going to be a new record. And she only had herself and her navigator, Fred Noonan. I think that's his name. And everything, it was really being well updated and everything like that. They really, the press really kept to it. It was updated every single day. And that is something I think people need to know for a couple of the stories later on in the theories, is that it was being updated. It was very publicized and well known and updated every day. So obviously we know that Amelia Earhart did unfortunately pass away on this flight. At least we think she did. She unfortunately was never heard from again on this flight. And we never found the plane crash or her body or Fred Noonan's body. This is well documented. So, I want to go ahead and get into the theories because there are quite a few that I find intriguing. The first one is that she was found by the U.S. Amelia Earhart was found by the U.S. and given a new identity of a New Jersey woman named Irene Boland. I don't think that this is... I started with this one because I actually don't think that this is true. I think that it is honestly the most stupidest one, the dumbest theory, because this woman was so upset about being claimed to be Amelia Earhart that she actually sued the author who originally wrote the theory. And, experts looked at pictures of Irene and Amelia Earhart and determined that there was just no way that they could be the same person. So I feel so obviously that one was debunked, but I really wanted to start with that one because there's obviously going to be a theory, no matter what, with things like this, that she survived and the U.S. gave her a new identity, which I don't know why the U.S. would give her, if we found her, I don't know why they would have given her a new identity unless she was, in danger. So, that theory never made sense to me, honestly, when I was researching this. It never made sense. Now we're going to go ahead and get into the more plausible theories. And the most, plausible one that I think that is most well believed is that they ran out of gas, they ran out of fuel, and they crashed into the ocean, and that is why we were never able to find her plane or their bodies. I feel like that is probably the most realistic one, if anything, although if she was getting low on gas, I feel like, and this will come in a later theory, she would have crash landed anywhere that she could have landed. She wouldn't have cared where, as long as it was somewhere on land where they could try and communicate with the U.S. to get gas. in to get fuel. And something about like this case that I didn't know until I was researching it for this video is that her, like, the transmitters were really weird. Like, she could send out transmitters, but for some reason she couldn't get them back. So we were hearing her. We have, like, an SOS before they crashed and disappeared from Amelia Earhart. But we don't, like, but our messages back to her weren't going out for some reason. And I still don't know why they weren't going out. Now, there is another theory that they crash landed on an island, and apparently they found objects on this island that could have belonged to Amelia Earhart. But they believe that she crash landed on this island, and she actually lived on it for a while and survived. And people say that because apparently people on this island say that they heard the day after the crash transmitter, like a transmission going out about Amelia Earhart and stuff like that, which obviously if she had crash landed, she would still be trying to get a hold of the US to get information, like to get saved for one, to get information and to let them know where she was. So obviously that's very, very plausible. I think that that is plausible. It's not the one I actually believe, but I think that that is plausible. Because the thing that people are going off of, like, Amelia Earhart was definitely there, is because they found, like, this, like, jar that she was known to keep, like, her cosmetics in. Because she was a celebrity, so she always kept cosmetics with her on the plane in case she was going to be photographed, because she wanted to look nice, obviously. And they found, like, pieces of it on this island. And that is the most damning evidence of this theory that proves that Amelia Earhart was there. Although, again, haven't found the plane site. We haven't found their dead bodies. We haven't found anything. So can't prove that one wrong or debunk that one like you can debunk the first one. The next theory is the one that actually was the focus of this special that I watched last night with my parents, and what really got me into it, because I was under the impression that Amelia Earhart just crashed into the ocean and they disappeared. That was the impression that I grew up with. And basically what I was kind of taught. Because, again, nobody had actually attempted to fly across the entire world before. She was the first. So, of course, things are bound to go wrong. Like, that's kind of, like, inevitable, honestly. Because faith has a good way of throwing curveballs at people. Now, this theory suggests that they crash landed on a Japanese island, and they were taken prisoner. And there are... I find this one to be the most likely because of the fact that there are so many veterans from World War II and survivors that tell the story of two white people who were taken prisoner on their island and shot. And they've even taken people to where the supposed grave sites are. It's really interesting. If you're really curious about it, I really suggest looking it up on YouTube. There are so many videos from this documentary of these people, like the natives, talking about it. And there's even, and this is the one I found the most damning, is the fact that there was a World War II veteran on the Japanese side who said that they brought in two white people who fell from the sky, and he was supposed to heal their injuries from the crash. So I am on the side of, I do think that now, I think Amelia Earhart and Fred Newton did pass, like were killed on this island. And I kind of wish that it was a theory that was more investigated. Apparently there was a plane crash and like the US destroyed it. I was inspired by Bailey Sarian videos to do a little something different, so I literally just took my Taurus, or this is called the Bull pigment from Colourpop and Kathleen Lights' collection that I love. and tried something new, and I'm not sure how I feel about it because it didn't come out the way I actually wanted it to come out. So that sucks. But it's still a beautiful pigment. Anything ColourPop does is actually really gorgeous, so I'm actually going to do a ColourPop order sometime this month. Another one because I did one last month. Okay. But I personally am on the side of believing that theory of them actually disappearing because they were captured by the Japanese and they were shot and killed. There's also theories that this whole traveling around the world was actually a lie and she was a spy for FDR, which is why I'm going to tell you to refer back to earlier in the video. But that's why I'm going to tell you to refer back to earlier in the video where I told you guys about how this was so publicized. So if this was a secret mission, why would it be so publicized? Like, why wouldn't they want to keep it, like, under wraps? I don't know. Like, that's my theory, at least, is that if that was true, they would want to keep it under wraps. But if you want to look more into this, I really suggest looking up some videos on YouTube about the natives talking about it, because like I said, there's actually a video. I wish I could find it and link. If I can, I will link it down below. But there's a video of one of the natives actually describing the interrogation that the woman that I believe was Amelia Earhart and she believes is Amelia Earhart with the Japanese. Like, they were actually, like, she knew she was going to die and they were interrogating her. And she didn't say anything. So they shot her in the chest. And she actually described it. She said they shot her in the chest. She fell backwards into a pre-dug grave. And there, like I said, there are World War II veterans that confirm this. And there's people on the Japanese side that confirm this. And, I mean, they're obviously World War II veterans, so they're older. So, yes, you can chalk it up to, oh, well, maybe in their old age, that's why they think that this is real. I think that that could be something that could be chalked up to it. And it's probably one of the biggest reasons why that theory is more or less denied by the government, is because of that. But if it was something like that, why do so many people have the same memory of it? And then some are adding on, like, and then you have the added on parts of the natives of the island that remember it, that took people to the graves that are supposed to be the graves of Fred Noonan and Amelia Earhart. I don't know. I just feel like this is something that should, like, be looked into by the government, and I kind of wish that the government would look into something like this, like, would take our tax money and do something useful with it. But nonetheless, that would be something that would be really intriguing, I think. Would be for the government to look into the disappearance of Amelia Earhart on a Japanese island, and if the Japanese actually did capture Amelia Earhart and Fred Noonan and kill them. That is the theory that I actually most widely believe, because I don't believe that if they were running low on gas and fuel that they would just keep flying. I think that they would look for somewhere to land. Okay. Are you out? You're out? I also think that it is highly possible that they did just disappear into the ocean. And I also think that the theory is also entirely possible that they could have crash landed on an island and tried to get signals out but weren't able to and just lived the rest of their lives there. So I think all three are really possible. I really do. But anyways, I want to know what you guys think down below. Do you guys have anything to add to these theories? Let's discuss these 4 theories. down below. Please be respectful. And let's add on to it. Let's discuss what you guys think, your guys' theories, and I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Hope you guys enjoyed. So like, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell, all that social media great stuff. I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye, guys!